Hi there, Mouseketeers. Welcome to the Disneyland beat, where our toes tap to a Disneyland drum.
And we always whistle while we work.
We love Critter Country. It has Splash Mountain, visiting with Pooh and Tigger, delectable sweet treats, and a quick ride through a bear's honey-driven acid trip.
Critter Country's changed before, and with the replussing of Splash Mountain coming sometime in the future, it will change again.
But when it does, what's going to happen to this cute woodsy land?
Today, we take a look at the past and present attractions and themes of Critter Country.
And speculate a bit about its future. Please like, subscribe, and stick around.
There are quite a few people who were around for the thrilling opening day of Critter Country in 1989. Splash Mountain opened the same year, and the ride was a massive hit and the pride of the parks. The area had not always been Critter Country, though. In fact, when the park opened, it was just a heavily wooded area planned for future expansion. The first use of the land was in the park's second year, 1956, with the creation of the American Indian Village. In many ways, this land was Disney's first world showcase.
In the American Indian Village, you could find ambassadors of the Caddo, Sioux, and Cheyenne nations, along with other individual tribes represented as well. This was a place where First Nations people could share select stories from their cultures, with guests and among themselves. The land was staffed by many tribal chiefs and citizens for years. The village had a wilderness walking path, a gift shop in the same building the Briar Patch is in today, and it hosted the canoes and eventually the keelboats. But its most iconic attraction was a live demonstration and performance at the Ceremonial Circle, showcasing many stories and dances.
In 1971, the American Indian Village closed to make way for Bear Country, the next inhabitant of this mini land. It had a very backwoods western look that could have been an extension of Frontierland, but was billed as its own land, and it did have a different feel, one a bit more whimsical. It also set up the basic structure of the land. It was small, though not as small as it would become, and it was the end of the road. There was nowhere to go but back the way you came. A map of Bear Country shows three major attractions: the canoes and Mike Fink keelboats, and the star of the land, the brand new Country Bear Jamboree.
Bear Country also included construction of the buildings where Pooh Corner is today. In the 70s, it housed three things: Teddy Barra's swinging arcade, a huge gift shop called the Wilderness Outpost, and the mile-long bar where you could saddle up to the bar for some hot dogs and sarsaparilla. The other spot to grab a bite to eat was the brand new Golden Bear Lodge, which, like the Hungry Bear was to become, offered a good burger, a huge deck, and incredible riverside views.
But it all changed in 1989. Tony Baxter famously had his visions of reworking the America Sings attractions into a new big-budget log flume ride. Eisner was in charge, expanding the parks and doing crazy things like insisting Splash Mountain be named Splash Mountain to help advertise his new mermaid movie, Splash. Critter Country was a huge hit.
Critter Country opened up a bit smaller than it had been, and things have continued to change in the 31 years since it's been open. But in 1989, in addition to its two major attractions, it still offered the keelboats and the canoes and Teddy Barra's arcade, and the Golden Bear Lodge was rethemed at this point into the Hungry Bear, and the Bear Country shops were changed into the Briar Patch and the Crocodile Mercantile, situated where Pooh Corner is today.
In 2001, due to very low crowds in the land, the Country Bears played their last show and was slated for replacement, and it came down to two ideas. One was the Country Bears 500, a racing attraction themed to the musical Bears, and the other was a Winnie the Pooh attraction. And obviously Pooh won out. He already had a very popular meet and greet in the area, and seriously, who sells the most stuffed bears? Today, Pooh is a very charming attraction with a refreshingly high capacity and short lines.
18 years saw very little change to the land, really until Galaxy's Edge opened, altering the flow of Critter Country, and the entire park really is now you can make your way around the rivers of America. Critter Country gets a lot more traffic now as people make their way to and from Batu. But the bigger change is on the horizon. This past summer, we learned that Splash Mountain is going to be temporarily closed to be rethemed into a Princess and the Frog attraction. So what does this mean for Critter Country?
Well, a lot of it depends on the re-theme of Splash Mountain itself. We have some concept art, and we know the ride will be set just after the movie, and we are helping Louie to get to his first big jazz gig with Naveen on a Grand Riverboat. Now, we know they're not planning on taking out every single element of the existing ride, but rather working with it. And we imagine some of the old America Sings animatronics will continue on as part of the new Princess and the Frog attraction.
And we know that New Orleans and Mardi Gras are going to be significant parts of the ride. The fireworks and the costume elements near Tiana in the rendering, practically overflowing in her boat, are there for a reason, and Imagineers have already noted that the ride will, quote, link in well with New Orleans Square at Disneyland.
So that's the big question, we think. Will the new Splash Mountain continue to be in Critter Country, or will it move to New Orleans Square?
We think it could work either way. So what happens if the ride switches lands and becomes part of New Orleans Square? Well, it would not be the first ride at Disneyland to change lands, for one, but it might be really cool. It expands New Orleans Square, which would really start to take on more dimensions. You would actually be able to stroll from downtown Bourbon Street, past the Garden District and its great manors, to the edge of the forest, and ride a boat into the bayou itself. We think that's pretty cool.
And it opens up some other possibilities. Parts of Critter Country could be rethemed to have more of a bayou feel.
But what about Pooh Bear? It certainly would not make sense to somehow connect Pooh's forest to Louisiana. So we think the logical conclusion is that Winnie the Pooh and friends would just get their own space, their own mini-land, the 100-acre wood, and Critter Country would be no more.
Well, we don't think that would be too much of a stretch, as the land is already fairly clearly divided as it is. As you walk down the main path, everything on the left is currently Splash Mountain and everything on the right is Winnie the Pooh. It feels like there are enough elements between the ride and its charming queue around the stream, the popular meet and greet area, and the Pooh Corner Shop with its delicious candy, and even the Hungry Bear, for the land to stand on its own.
But what happens if the new Splash Mountain attraction remains as part of Critter Country?
Well, maybe not that much would change to the story of the land if it went that way.
Well, there will be critters. It just seems logical that no matter what, the ride's gonna have lots of animal critters on it. We sure hope to see several of the classic animal animatronics from the existing ride as part of the new cast. The description says this is both Tiana and Lewis's adventure, and we really do expect it to have way more animals in it than humans.
And if the land does remain Critter Country, then what we get is kind of a tie-in between the lands, which is also really cool. The transition from New Orleans Square to Critter Country might seem smoother for it, and we don't see why conceptually Critter Country couldn't hold both a bayou full of swamp critters and the 100-acre wood.
But Critter Country will certainly be a little different no matter what. It is likely the farm and the barn theming of the queue will change. Probably not so much out of accuracy. Barns are fairly similar styles across the South, but we do think it will get some more bayou and New Orleans flavor in it for fun. And perhaps some of the Mama Odie look with all of the beautiful colored bottles. But total speculation, we really think that will be reserved for the big lift hill inside the ride right before the big splashdown as we jam out to dig a little deeper.
But to be devil's advocate, it is arguably a bit more of a stretch to ask Critter Country to house both the 100-acre wood and the New Orleans Bayou. The New Orleans theme is so defined, specific, and real, it might run the risk of overwhelming Pooh just a little bit.
As for the Hungry Bear restaurant, there are rumors of it being rethemed into Tiana's Palace, the riverboat-shaped gilded restaurant that Tiana builds. We think this would be awesome. This spot looks really cool, but it might be so expensive that we think for now it will probably remain the rustic but charming spot it is. Another potential spot to put Tiana's Palace might be
the French Market. It doesn't step on the toes of changing a place like Café Orleans or the Blue Bayou, and it lends itself to the styling of the movie.
But that's just speculation. As far as other more concrete changes go, the Briar Patch will most certainly change names again to focus on Princess and the Frog merchandise, but we really hope the old original building stays as a nod to the previous lands.
And we have to think the new Splash Mountain will also take up a small section of Pooh Corner. But as of right now, we don't see any reason to think Pooh Corner would really change much. And as we really love the Tigger Tales, we think that's great.
And don't forget that Fowler's Harbor, where the Columbia docks, including the Harbor Galley, is technically part of Critter Country. We don't expect to see any real changes here to this wonderfully peaceful corner of the park, but it certainly would lend itself to some New Orleans theming.
Well, that's it for today. We hope you enjoyed this discussion. Whatever happens, we think it'll be fun and in keeping with the lighthearted spirit of the Critter Country that we know and love.
See you real soon, Mouseketeers.
See you real soon.